Hi. Hi. My name is Theodore Cottingham, and I am restoring love to this nation and joy, peace, not a land of followers anymore, but lovers who will love each other. Lovers who establish love as preeminent, paramount, no longer subjugating themselves and each other, sacrificing themselves, self-sabotaging themselves and each other. I am lovers in action. And my name is I love you, Christ. I love you, Messiah. I love you, God. I love you, Betty Sue, Ralph, Oscar. I love you all. I love you all equally with an equality of the characteristics of what love is, the behavior of what love is, kindness without envy. I don't envy you. I won't envy you. I don't choose to. I have all I need. I am all I need. And I am not self-sacrificing for you to do what you want to do in your limited view, your own creation of your own peril. But I submit to you not, I exalt love. Love that keeps no record of wrongs. I have defined love. I have made my own definitions to live by. Through me, my properties, my property of love. Intangible love that comes through my words, you see. I've channeled them. I've channeled love. I've met love. Intimacy. Intimate I become with love who loves me, cherishes me, takes care of me not, but makes me stand still not again. Or is love something else? Is love intangible? Do you feel it? Do you see it? Do you sense it? Do you project it? Do you give it? Do you limit it? And why should you limit your love when so freely, whatever love you have, you've been given to know, to make, to create? You're creating you, my friend. You're creating you at this moment. At this very moment. You are creating you, your consciousness. And you're becoming increasingly consciousness of your creation. And increasingly conscious that you are your creation and that you created you and that all of us, we all created each other not, or are we one who has a mind that we are looking at, not separate again? Are you willing to hear, see, feel, become, do things you've never done? Admitting guilt? Not, but opening to love, to come through you. Your source of love being you, not God. For whatever God is, whatever God was, whatever you attribute to some superhero or some divine substance or essence, my friend, you're it. You're it. Have the mind in you. Let your mind create your mind that is not separate from God. And think it not robbery to be equal with God. Heard that Bible verse before? Think it not robbery to neglect you? Or are you neglecting you in the pursuit of something else? The pursuit of religion, the pursuit of an ideal, the pursuit of peace, the pursuit of money, power, influence, a better quality of life. Is that your pursuit, your goal? But what? Why? How are you doing this? You see, if you don't know who you are, do you know what you have? Do you know what your capability is? What is truly your capacity? Is it just to learn? Is it just to enhance your intelligence, operating in a five-sense mind? A visible reality, visible empirical reality that you think is our world, that you are limited to? And yet every night, if you so choose, you can walk out. You can walk out underneath the stars and look up maybe at some of the same stars Abraham saw. What are you willing to see? Your seed as numberless as the stars? As in the procreation of flesh? Or the creation of miracles? Or the ability to hang stars in space? Or to create love, with love creating love, where you respect each other, where you honor love, and you're not bent out of shape by the trivialities of life. The annoyances that interfere with your comfort. Will you create love? Will you love each other? Will you love each other? And not just each other's shape, voice, power, influence, what they can do for you. Subterfuge is so rampant, it's common. It's not even noticed anymore. Experts teaching each other how to be surreptitious, common criminals of the mind? Breaking into each other's mind? Finding ways to drill, as it were, into each person's consciousness with all of their millions of impressions. Advertising their message, their product, their falsehood, their pretense. I tell you, love is not standing still in this nation. For I am, here I am. No matter how you spell I am it. No matter if you capitalize it or not, I am. I am the I am. I am the one and only I am that has a consciousness of perfection, perfecting creation, communicating the consciousness that all of us are one, and we've never been unequal. You are I am. I am is. That's you. I know who you are. You have the ability to create, as I do, and more. And if you see who I am, you will see Jesus in John 14:12 pointing the finger at you, saying, you are equal with me. Don't serve me. Don't create a church. Don't languish in religion. Don't worship an ideal, an idyllic setting, an image of me, an icon of me, a framed picture of me, a cross, me on the cross, me not on the cross. Oh, for goodness sake, grow up. And that's my message to you this day, John 14:12, John 3:8. The wind blows where it will. You can't see where it comes from or where it goes. So is everyone who is born of the Spirit. If you're born again, you're born of the Spirit. You're not born again by saying a sinner's prayer, a little sentence. You're the same exasperated, addicted to Prozac or whatever addictions that you justify in your own mind to take, except living your abhorrent lifestyle, whether you think so or not, or are you just abhorring others? Or are you deciding all that's good and all that's evil? You're just, oh, yes, sure, of course. Deciding what's good and evil all the time, every day. You're making choices. You're choosing. Eating from the tree of the knowledge. You're eating from the tree of life, your own decision making, the web of deceit that has encumbered you, ensconced you, limited you, and trained you to be ignorant, so that you're like the idea or this little story of a giant elephant tethered with a little chain to a stake in the ground that could be pulled up effortlessly, that doesn't know it. He just doesn't know it. He's ignorant. Muscle memory. So as a baby elephant, he was chained to a stake with a little chain that held him. But that chain can no more hold him. And the chains of ignorance that hold you, my friend, can no longer hold you, because you are no longer subject to the powers that have represented themselves so effectively in front of us, before us, with their scriptures, their robes, their rings, their opulence provided by the labor of common people who were duped into giving away what they had, sacrificing to a God somewhere afar off, trying to appease the gods. I'm a radical. I don't know if I've ever said that like that. I'm a radical. I've written about the radical, the rebel. I've written what I began to learn. I channeled for 21 years. I see Jesus as the pattern, the blueprint, a model, not the people on the cover of your Vogue, Elle, or GQ, or some other popular periodical. Who is programming? Who are you letting program your images, your database, your knowledge base? Why are you choosing to restrict your wisdom of who you are, what you have the capacity to do, see, say, and sign? The authority of God is no more over me because I'm not choosing to serve it. And I don't recognize it as unequal, for I have become equal. Equal with God? Yes, God is my father. God is my mother. God is my sister and my brother. God is laying on a field in Sudan, Chad, Ukraine, Gaza, starving to death. That's my people. My people are dead. My people are wounded. My people are ignorant. And I'm raising up a standard? No. I'm raising up my voice. And this is how I do it. In the people who will love and stand up to lead, love, to be it. No more sitting on a pew. No more under the authority. No more begging for grace under the ignorance of the preachers that preach grace, 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 forgiveness of sin, atonement. Jesus, 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 Jesus. My goodness, wake up. Jesus is not your soon-coming king, nor is Jesus your redeemer, nor does Jesus forgive any sins. Grow up. Lay your Santa Claus story of God aside. Learn who this guy was. Care for each other. Intervene when the religious want to stone the harlot. Walk in between the harlot and the religious. And say to them, you who is without sin, sin. Who are you to cast the first stone? And eventually they all meander away. What are you going to do? Stand up for your brother, your sister? I'm asking you to stand up first for you. You, to care for you, to see who you are, and see that the fabric of time and space, space-time, time-space, do not limit you. Jesus became the pattern, the firstborn. He was the first born-again individual. And as far as I know, and all the information I received, channeled, understand, there's never been a second one. Never. But you may be it. You may be the second. You may be the third. You may be the fifth, sixth, 10th. When you become born again, you become what the first is, no longer separate. You're no longer identifying as a separate, unique, indistinct, and distinct individual consciousness that assumes itself with an identity of separateness and limitation. You're no longer saying, I'm human. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to walk on water, feed the 5,000, calm the storm. Well, learn how. Before you can learn how, I suggest you may have to choose to be open to learning how. You have to open the gate of your mind. You have to be willing to see a new story. Will you usher in that new story? Will you be the new story? Will you be acting? Will you be living, not worshiping? Will you live the God story? Well, let's see who God is. Maybe we've used the term God for both Jekyll and Hyde. You know, Jekyll and Hyde, the book. If you haven't read it, get it today. Read it. And there are multiple movies. At least 3 I know of Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde, one man. 2 names, both opposite. Is God a Jekyll and Hyde? Is God and the devil the same one? The same energy? One end of the spectrum creates all creation to be equal, and the other one creates only servants, servanthood, spectatorship, sidelines everyone to be AI-driven robots with them controlling the information to do all our programming, to teach us what to learn, to increase their GDP, their wealth, their bank account, help buy them yachts and multiple houses on the Riviera. Grow up. When are we going to learn to help each other? Instead of just making the ignorant fools rich. I'm not against wealth. Poverty is caused by ignorance. Isn't it? I'm asking you, and you're choosing. And you will answer. And your choice may be to not answer. Or you can say yes or no, maybe. I'll investigate. I'll explore. I don't know. Are you God? It's not blasphemy to ask these questions. It's time we grow up. It's time you begin to care more for the words in red than the words of Paul. It's time you begin to learn that love doesn't command people. Stories in the Old Testament, stories. Go into this country, conquer them, slaughter all the men, women, children. That's not love. That's control. That's hate, hatred, brutality, ultimate ego exaltation. And if you're always thinking about what people can do for you and that's your motive, don't come here. My book will be worthless to you. My words will have no meaning because I'm not after increasing your worldly wealth, your sphere of influence, your bank account. I care about love. I'm living love. I'm learning love. I'm in the school of love. I'm still in the school of learning who love is, what love is, and the capacity of love to learn, to heal, to advance, to mature, to do all the things Jesus said that I could do. If you love me, you'll do all the things I do. Love me, become me. There's only one. All becoming the one. The controllers say only he was the original and only ever only son. No, my friend. All that you have need of is inside of you. But if you want to sit on it and just accumulate, store up in your barns, your bank account, your 401k, you can do so for a while. But remember, Babylon, in the Bible, the prophecy, Babylon falls. When? In one day? What do you know about the Bible? Have you ever studied, or are you illiterate, or are you just assuming that preachers know what they talk about when they preach and tell you story after story to make you feel good? Hopefully, so that when you drive home from church, you look at each other, you look at whoever's in the car, you think, you make a post, oh, that was a good sermon today. Yay. I go to a church that feeds me. What the hell is it feeding you? Hell? A stream of hell? A stream that limits you to your 5 sense mind, your ego, and your emotions? To think this is your world? If you don't know you're equal with God, you don't know what to do with your power. You don't know what to do with that equality. You don't know how to develop it. You don't even know how to pray because you don't even know how to communicate. And you don't. You won't. And if you begin, unexpected things may happen. Yeah. Can you imagine with me? Think now outside the box, please. Can you imagine falling in love with love itself? Where love is something not represented to you by a human or by a shape or a voice, a gender, an icon? What if love is a state of being, a state of creation where the Creator creates. The power within regenerating what itself is. Love, loving love, giving love freely to every man, woman, and child. Oh. I've shared for 30 minutes. I'm going. You realize I could teach like this for hours, days. Because what I am, I have become. What I channel and the channeling has become one. The channeler and the channelee, the source and the receiver has become the transceiver, has become the receiver, has become the information itself. The information itself that I am not unequal. You are not either. Your vocabulary is unlimited. Your intelligence is off the charts. No one anywhere can measure it. Why? Because you're connected. When you're connected with wisdom, the field of intelligence, the field of love, a state of being, a force field, the field of the source of love, you're not separate. That source is not just in you, a human housing God or housing that source of life. You become it. Actually, this is what covenant is about. This is the operation of the new and living, infinite, eternal covenant. There's 2 or 3 verses in Psalm 110 that speak of it. But you won't find it. You can't see it unless you begin to open to it. See what? The meaning, the understand, to understand the simple words. Sit at my right hand while I make your enemies your footstool. You can look it up. I've taught about that before. And who's on whose right hand, and then who's addressing who, having changed places. Because what does God do? God, love. Love says, come, love. Let me teach you firsthand. Let me channel. Let me give my living word, not just to you, but through you so that you become it. This is the living water. This is the flow of love. It is the opposite of control. It is the opposite of the ego. It is the opposite of the limitation of the physical, the visible, empirical. Do you see what I'm saying? Get it. Please get it. Live these words, love these words, understand these words. Listen to this 10 times. There are many lessons that I've listened to multiple times, outlined, writing copious notes about what I taught that morning, filling notebook after notebook to become who I am, to know what I know, to do what I do. I ask you to also. It's not easy. It's not simple. It's not quick. But it's not like what we call rocket science. And yet you have the capacity to hang stars in space if you're willing to know it. But if you don't think so, you self-sabotage yourself. You become self-righteous in your own eyes, self-righteous so that you can be a servant, listening to the garbage of the Christian ethic to tell you you're a servant and that your righteousness is as filthy rags? No, my friend. That's not my God. Which God are you looking at, listening to, serving, Jekyll or Hyde? God or Satan? Or do you even know the difference? Do you even know the difference between serving what most Bibles call God or Mammon? You think the sacred and secular are separate. Life. There's a different modus operandi of love. And love is emerging all over this earth and farther. And as you connect with love, love will spread your influence. Love will touch your voice and begin to heal the source of your energy, the source of life that's between your eyes, no longer limiting you to the consciousness you were bred with. You are the unlimited you, the infinite, eternal, immortal, interdimensional space being, immaterial being, intangible, Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it. If you will, but know not. You can't just know it. Is it unknowable? No. But the only way you can know it is if you become it. You become the equal. You begin to realize your place is no longer among the squalid squalor of earth, needing electricity, needing machines, dependent on a corporation for food or medicine. My friend, you can feed the 5,000 with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. But if you don't know it, you're consistently sabotaging yourself and each other. But those days are over because I rise. I'm here. I'm here. And who am I? I'm all who will be me. All who will be this message. All who will become the real them that they were before, that you were before time began. Before time began, as we think of time, before planet Earth existed. Have this mind in you, which was in Jesus, who thought it not robbery to be equal with God. If you want to sit in a pew, raise your hands and worship, sing worship songs, study your Bible, go to Sunday school, listen to a sermon, meditate, pray through a prayer book. You can utter those words and live your life, and you already know the outcome, at least that you are inevitably appointing yourself to death, and you will die. And you won't then meet the judgment, my friend, because the judgment is right now by you in your life this day. You have no idea. But I'm asking you to no longer eat the ideas of Jekyll and Hyde, duality, war in heaven, power of Satan, demons, imps, demonology. Let not your heart be troubled. Let not your heart be troubled. You, my friend, are love in two shoes, if you will be it. Now love each other, beginning with you first. Wound no one else. Drop all the blades of your brutality, your brutal thinking, the projection of hate and separation. My family rises now, and who am I? I'm an old guy, 73 years old in Eureka Springs, with a message that I have met love. And love told me, taught me, in the most intimate times, the exchange, not of flesh and semen, but intimate times in the exchange of something far more real, more intimate, the literal exchange of mind. So that the mind of God, intimacy, love, pure love, that which does not critique, that which does not condemn, never created a hell, comes. And not in times of sex, but in times of the most intimate of spirit, intimate of consciousness, where reality touches, massages, and love brings back to life the consciousness of the one. The one. Love says, arise, you're it. You're it. Little baby fish, don't seek the ocean. You're in it. Swim in it, enjoy it, explore, adventure, the cosmos, the entire cosmos. You're not limited to Earth. You're not limited to this 1 gallon of water, little baby fish. Wake up, listen, explore, communicate, collaborate, see the love, be the regal you, and regalize each other. Treat each other like royalty. Be kind. Care. Shame no one for any purpose whatsoever. Because when you're looking at them, you are looking at you when you really know it. Take time with you this day to find out, to figure out, to be intimate in transcendence, intimate in ways man has never described to you, because man preaches through their cognitive power. They preach line by line, precept by precept, limited to a 3D world about somebody else's power. But you, my friend, are not subject to all those powers. When you love love, you don't embrace love. Love doesn't infill you. You grow it. You become it. You enter in the chamber, the Holy of Holies. The Holy of Holies is not a house made with hands. It's constructed with love. Okay, I'm going to walk down the street, get me a little mocha, check the mail at the post office, probably walk down to the library like I usually do, meander up a trail through beautiful wooded areas, hills, sometimes stopping along the way, often talking to tourists, often talking to people here I know. Come back here in a couple hours. And this is often my morning, my custom, to share with you my heart. Go have a mocha, walk around and talk with people. That's my life at the moment. What's yours? I'm asking you to love everyone you encounter today, whether you've ever seen them or not, no matter what they look like to you. I'm asking you to love each other. When you love someone, when you become love, inherently there is a respect. You don't let them run over you. A lot of people will trample you and try because it's their nature. Jekyll or Hyde, or do you know which one is which? God or Satan? Or is it the same one? What are you embracing? What spectrum of energy are you listening to? What frequency are you on? What are you vibrating at? Or are you willing to no longer be limited to the energy of this world? No longer limited by protons, neutrons, electrons. Will you be meoned? Meonics. I study meonics. I birth meonics. I'm birthing me. Meonics births you. You creating you again with the capacity of you to you. Let there be light. Let there be love. Say to wisdom, thou art my sister. Say to everyone, you're my family. No matter what they look like. Let no man stand between you and love. Love each other. I go. I'll see you later. Thank you so much for sharing this time listening. Be who you really are. Don't sabotage you. Take your hands off each other and let them do what they're going to do. Let not your heart be troubled, your mind, your peace. Be not dependent upon the state of affairs of any state, country, or person. I'm asking you to understand you're equal with the Creator, who creates all equal. I have a son and daughter. I didn't teach them they were under me. They're not under me. I taught them. I wanted them to have all my knowledge. I didn't want them to start life and have to learn so many things the way that I did. So I taught them. I told them, I spent time with them in the car, in the yard, at meals, date nights, camping trips. It takes effort. It takes time. Because you are doing the unveiling. If you will be who you really are, you will begin to take the scales off of your eyes. And you will, in fact, change your energy, your vocabulary, your willingness to embrace confidence, to no longer be inhibited, intimidated by the wealthy, the affluent, those who you might think have it all. You lack nothing, my dear friend. And that's my message to you this day. Wear your love. Dress in light. Eat the words of affliction no more. Enjoy you being you. I love you all. I go. TheodoreCottingham.com. You can write me. Box 34 in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Have a good day and celebrate love. Not just who wins and who loses, whatever games they play. Celebrate love. Celebrate your origin and originate the original species of light through your own love this day. I love you. Good day.